Today we are going to make Teessides' very own world famous takeaway dish, the chicken parmesan, or as they like to call it, the parmo. And this one's slightly healthier than their version as well. So this dish can be made with either pork fillet or chicken breast. I'm going to use chicken breast, so you want 2 large chicken breasts. I have 150 grams of mixed cheese here. I've got 50 grams of red Leicester, 50 grams of a mature white cheddar, and 50 grams of parmesan as well. I also have a little bit of a mix here of oregano, black pepper, and some salt. I have 150 grams of plain white flour, 2 large beaten eggs, and 150 grams of panko breadcrumbs. And for our bechamel sauce over here, I have 300 millilitres of whole milk, 40 grams of salted butter. I have a teaspoon or just under a teaspoon of nutmeg, and I also have 50 grams of plain flour. So first things first then, we're going to make our bechamel sauce because we can keep this fresh and warm until later on. We're going to make quite a thick bechamel sauce. So turn your pan on to a medium heat. Straight away you want to go in there with your butter and get that melted. Alright, brilliant. So when that butter's melted, you're going to go gradually in with your flour. Stir that in. This is called making the roux. And your nutmeg in there. And then you're going to gradually add your milk and continually stir until you get a nice thick bechamel sauce. At the moment this is too thick, so keep adding your milk and mixing it in. And that is about perfect, okay? So a little tip then, at this stage we're going to take this off the heat and leave it to a side until later. If you take it a bit of greaseproof paper or baking paper, just scrunch it up and cover the top with it. That'll keep it fresh and stop any sort of skin forming on the top. Alright, so after we've got our bechamel sauce put to the side there with our baking paper on top, the next thing we're going to do is butterfly our 2 chicken breasts. Now butterflying is just a posh way of saying cut it in half but not all the way through, okay? Just like this. Okay, so that's 1 breast butterflied. So there we have our 2 chicken breasts butterflied. So next bit then, time for a bit of a de-stress. I'm going to take some cling film. I'm going to pop that cling film over the top of our chicken breasts, and then we're just going to tenderise it using, well, the easiest tool, a rolling pin. So you want to be beating it out until it's just under 1 centimetre in thickness. Perfect. Get rid of your cling film and we'll move on to the next stage. This is the bit that potentially could get a bit messy. Take your chicken breast, first into the flour, then into the egg, then into the breadcrumbs, then onto the oven tray here. I've just put a grate on the top and I've lined the bottom with some tin foil. Into the flour, into the egg, and then into the breadcrumbs. There's no need to rush, just take your time with it. And then put your chicken straight on to your baking tray. Just before they go into the oven, one last little thing to do. Take our oregano, salt and pepper mix, sprinkle that over the top. And then lastly, I'm just going to use some cooking spray. Just give them a light spray on the top. So into the oven that's been preheated at 220 degrees for 20 minutes, 15 on this side, and then we'll flip it over to do the final 5 minutes on the other side. Okay, so 20 minutes are up, 15 minutes on one side, 5 on the other. I'm going to turn our chicken breasts back over. And this is where our chickens turn from almost like a schnitzel into our parmos. So you want to remove the baking paper from your bechamel sauce, and with the bechamel sauce, like I said, it wants to be quite thick. Just going to spread it on top of our chicken breasts. And then be very, very generous with your cheese. Everybody loves a bit of melted cheese. Fantastic. They're going to go back into the oven now for about another 7 to 10 minutes, just until that cheese is completely melted. The chicken's definitely completely finished cooking, and then our parmesans are ready to serve. In Teesside, they traditionally serve these with fries and garlic mayo, but I'll leave that bit up to you. That is the closest thing to cheesy heaven you're ever going to get. Your fries, whatever it is you want to serve them with, salad. Don't forget your garlic mayo.